रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे मन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कवितासकं वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणा शृण्वन् रामकथानदं को न याति परां गतिम्। या पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तास्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। गोष्पदीकृतवारासिम् अस्कीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कवितासमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठम् मदात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धो सलिलं यः शोकवह्निं जनकात्मजया अदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्काम् नमामि तं प्राञ्जलि आञ्जनेयम्। आञ्जनेयमतिपतलाननं कञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहम् पारिजातातरुमूलवासिनं भवयामि पवमाननन्दनम्। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिम् बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमता राक्षसान्तकम्। वेदवेद्ये पुंसि परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मनः। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षम् रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। वैदेही सहितं सुराद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकामसने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परम्। व्याख्यान्तं वरदादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। अपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदा लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। इलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महाश्रयाकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंश नादम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। सकृद्यो प्रपन्नो यत्तवास्मि जयाचते अभयं सर्वदा तस्मै ददामि एतद्व्रतं मम। श्रीरामचन्द्रचरणो मनसा स्मरामि श्रीरामचन्द्रचरणो वचसा गृह्णामि श्रीरामचन्द्रचरणो शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामचन्द्रचरणो शरणं प्रपद्ये। सीताराम हनुमान की जय। Reading from Valmiki Ramayan, Canto 2, Volume 3. Ram, Lord Ramachandra meeting Guha. Yesterday we read where Kaikeyi had sent Lord Ramachandra to Vanavas, and Lord Ramachandra very happily accepted, never showed any feelings, ill feelings, or any moroseness, lamentation in his face, in his heart. He was the same personality as it is, no change. So simply worried about his father. So the otherwise he was not at all concerned about. He was ready to give his life and everything for the orders of the so his father. Now this is now Lord Rama entered into the forest and he meets the personality Guha. Having traversed till the end of the extensive and pleasant south Kosala, that intelligent elder brother of Lakshmana joined his palms in supplication and faced Ayodhya and spoke the following words. They are offering prayers to Ayodhya city, Ayodhya Dham. O best of the cities, I take permission from you, who have been maintained by descendants of Kapusta, and from the deities who maintain and reside in you. Because Holy Dham is not different from Supreme Lord. And so that's why we, as soon as we enter into Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, any Holy Dham, we offer obeisances right before the outskirts itself, just like Akrura has paid. He was constantly thinking when he started itself about the Holy Dham. After my residence in the forest, when I am no longer indebted to the king, I will see you again in the company of my mother and father. His eyes were red like copper. Out of distress, his face was filled with tears. He then lifted his right arm and spoke as follows to the people of the country who had come to see him, because they were following till to Bharata and this is not Bharata, Lakshmana and Lord Ramachandra. You have been respectful to and compassionate upon me as was appropriate. To be distressed for a long period of time is not good. Please go back to your work. The men offered that great soul obeisances and circumambulated him. They then stood here and there while lamenting terribly. And this is the deep attachment one must have. The citizens of that way, they all went back along with the Lord. So we also have great opportunity to go back home, back to God in this life itself. All we have to do is just follow what Sri Prabhupada says, what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, then we are ready to go back home, back to God in this life itself. So we just need to sacrifice. So that's all. Despite their lamentation and dissatisfaction, Raghava left their range of sight just as the sun before or night leaves before night arrives. This is almost like a similar pastime we see in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Leela also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he tried his best to console and solace Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Ramanand Rai, and many devotees from Jagannath Puri or from Shantipur before sannyas, after sannyas. No one wants to leave Chaitanya, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried their best, and then when he left, he didn't even look back. They were crying, they were doing so much. Still, he didn't look back. He just swiftly walked away. And same thing here, Lord Ramchandra is showing because is carrying the dharma is not going to bend at all. Prince Rama then crossed over the auspicious and pleasant villages in the land of Kosala on his chariot. They were filled with grains and wealth, as well as people habituated to give them in charity. They were safe from all dangers. They were filled with temples for deities, religious pillars, flower gardens, mango orchards, and water bodies that were full to brim. They were crowded with satisfied, nourished people. They were occupied by crowds of herds of cows. They could be characterized as belonging to kings. They resounded with sounds of Vedic mantras. The best of the sober passed right through his kingdom that was enjoyable for kings. It was happy, extensive, and crowded with pleasant gardens. Raghava saw there the divine Ganga of three paths. Her water was clear. She was free from moss, pious, and shelter from the sages. Ganga was fully decorated with ashrams that were rich in piety not far from her. Delighted Apsaras came to her water pools at times, and yet she was auspicious. She was adorned by Devas, Danavas, Gandharvas, and Kinnaras. The wives of Devas and Manushya Gandharvas reported to her, but she was always auspicious. In some places, she was motionless and grave. In some places, she was filled with forceful water. In some places, her sound was grave, like that of Mridanga. In some places, her sound was terrible, like that of a lightning. Mm, yeah. Ganga had fallen off Lord Sankara's matted hair by the ascetic prowess of Bhagirath. She was the queen of ocean and was filled with sounds of sarasas and praunchas. The mighty armed Rama reached her on the way to Srungaverapura. This is the place where Guha lives, great devotee of the Lord Ramachandra. Simple, but his love and determination to serve Lord is 100% full surrender. Upon observing Ganga to be filled with pools mixed with waves, the great chariot fighter Ramachandra told his charioteer Sumantra, "Let us reside here for today," because he is already thinking about Goa. Not far from the river is this very large ingudi tree. So I thought it was tamarind tree, but in some place I read almond tree. With many flowers and fresh leaves, charioteer, let us stay here. We can see the auspicious Ganga, the best of the rivers. Our waters are honored by Devas, Danavas, Gandharvas, beasts, and humans and birds. Lakshmana and Sumantra just told Raghav, all right, and then approached the Dingudi tree with the horses. Having reached that pleasant tree, the beloved of the Ikshvakus, Rama got down from chariot with his wife and Lakshmana. Sumantra also got down and released the fine horses with his palm, joined his supplication. He then came before Rama, who was sitting under the tree. A friend of Rama named Guha was the king of that area. He was as dear to Rama as his very life. He had taken birth in a Nishada dynasty, he had a fourfold army with him, and was very famous as their ruler. Mm. Upon hearing that Prince Rama had arrived in his kingdom, Guha came with his elderly ministers and relatives. Having noticed from a distance that the king of the Nishadas had arrived, Rama got up and met Guha with the son of Sumitra. That's Lakshmana. Guha was distressed. He embraced the descendant of Raghu because such a great king now, so as in a bark and everything. So he couldn't see. It was painful to see. Descendants of Raghu and said, Rama, just as Ayodhya is yours, this city of mine is also yours. What can I do for you? This is Madhavendra Puri is also. Kim karomi aham. So beautiful verse. So I'm forgetting the verse, but Madhavendra Puri and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also in that mood. Uh, that Velamangal Thakur's verse, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. That verse also, same mood is there. Here also, same thing. Guha is also in that 100% surrender. What can I do for you? She is ready to offer his service. Oh, mighty on the one, who will get a dear, uninvited guest like you? He then had a variety of nicely prepared rice items, drinks, swan, brought quickly, offered arghya, and spoke to the following words. Mighty on Rama, welcome. This entire kingdom in the forest is yours. We are your servants. You are our master. Kindly accept our kingdom. These eatables that we have brought, vegetables, make a note, huh? And that's why this I'm reading this so that today we can try our best to offer these. Some of these I had already mentioned, so it is there. So that's why nothing should be done concoctedly. Anything, neither dressing nor anything we do in devotion service, everything has to be authorized by Shastra and Sadhu and Guru. So otherwise, it is simply it's not going to actually help in devotion service. Kindly accept our kingdom. These eatables that we have brought, vegetables, rice, Panaka. So that's why we said we'll make Panakam. And other drinks, Rasayana, and other tonics as well, as nice beddings and grass for your horses to eat. And we'll see what Lord Ramchandra does. He's very receptive to accept, but he does something else here. When Guha spoke thus, Raghava replied, "You have worshipped and delighted us in every way, since you have come on your feet and showed your affection to us. Embracing Guha tightly with his thick arms, Rama spoke the following words." So many places we see that, yeah, Lord Ramchandra, even with Hanuman, he does the same thing. What can I offer? I have nothing to offer. Mm, no, there is no person in this world who has done such a significant service. I have nothing to repay. Mm, I don't know how I can repay you. So that's what Lord Ramchandra said. And same thing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said to the Goswamis, Ramananda Rai and Sarup Damodar. And same thing, Lord Krishna said to Srimati Radharani and Gopis. Uh, there is nothing I can't repay. So this is the instruction. We can see that this intimate, fully surrendered and loving exchange, just simply out of love only, not expecting anything in return, not a single thing. So Lord is actually attracted by that deep attachment and affection and love. And Sri Prabhupada also acted in that way. So always with his disciples also, he always so much grateful for all his disciples carrying out his spiritual master's mission. He was always feeling like a humble servant. So from Guha, so it's a very important principle one must learn. Embracing Guha tightly with his thick arms, Rama spoke the following words. By good fortune, Guha, I see you in good health with your relatives. Is everything well in your kingdom, circle of friends and treasury? I acknowledge all this, that you are lovingly prepared. I don't subsist on charity, because Kshatriya don't accept charity. Because you already have wealth. Brahmanas accept charity. Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, Sudras are supposed to give charity to others. Brahmanas accept the charity. The rest of them, same thing. Grihasthas are supposed to give charity, not accept charity. So, like that. That's why it is mentioned here. Know me to be wearing kusha, bark, and deer skin, eating fruits and roots. I am attentive to dharma, and I am an ascetic living within a forest. So here Sri Valmiki presents the reason for Rama not accepting the kingdom, food and other items presented by Guha. But he accepts both means he accepts his love and affection. He accepts also his offerings, but he cannot take because he's also following the dharma. He's also following the service being rendered by his devotees. So just like Bharat Maharaj also did. You want to take back, Lord rejected that offer. But then again, so then Paduka was given at that time. So that way both are there. Means in one sense it's rejected, but at the same time, Lord kind of accepted after 14 years. So he's not breaking the principle of whatever he's accepting, he's not breaking the principle of Dharma, what he's supposed to follow. Because Kaikeyi is already mentioned. You should not take wealth, you should wear bark and very very basically rigid principles how one should conduct in forest. So here Lord Ramchandra is showing that principle. Even though everything was offered with so Lord could have taken. So he's fully detached, but Lord is showing how one should conduct himself. I am in need of grass for the horses, nothing else. I will be very honored by you with much more. Alone for now. These horses are actually dear to King Dasarath. My father, I will be honored when these horses are well fed and nourished. Guha immediately ordered his men quickly arrange for the horses drinking and eating. Then, wearing an upper cloth of bark, he performed the evening Sandhya Vandan and then drank water alone as his food that Lakshmana personally fetched for him. So here, Jalam Eva indicates that Rama's fasting was because he had reached a sacred spot, since it has been stated that in the Puranas that so on, that even men whose fathers are alive should fast when they directly reach Ganga. So this is the also similar thing Ramananda Roy asked, not Ramananda, King Pratap asked, how come these devotees not following any rules. They are not fasting. How come they are not? They didn't even go to see Lord Jagannath. They are directly going and meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they're taking prasad. What is this? I said, yes, because is their master and guru and everything for them, their life and soul. So what Lord does, and then they'll follow. If Lord says this, you eat, then they are ready to eat. So anything and everything, whatever Lord and Guru says, that will be the highest precedence. So that's what we learn here also. So Lord Rama is showing how to follow the dharma, how to follow the sacred place, whatever the rules to be followed. So he's also following that aspect. After washing the feet of Rama, who was about to sleep on the ground with his wife, she didn't wanted any beddings. This is the same thing. Rupa Goswami and six Goswamis also did the same thing. They left everything. They are so austere the way they practice. They don't need to because they are fully detached. They could have accepted. They have accepted not for themselves, for the Lord. They build huge, beautiful temples. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda Dev. Huge, especially Radha Govinda temple is huge even now also. Man Singh has given so much money and they didn't use anything for themselves but for the deity service, they have accepted. Chakta, Torna, Vasesha, Mandala, Patisrina, Sada, Tucho, Bhutva, Ganesha, Kopina, Kanta, Srato, Vande, Rupa, Sanatano, Raghu, Yugo, Sri Jiva, Gopalako. So, always Goswami, that's Chadramah, who taught them so that they can teach the whole world how one should conduct. So, themselves, how one should practice the brain of Bhakti Yoga. Here, the same teachings are there here. How Guha behaved was the Lakshmana left that place and stood under the tree. Lakshmana is there protecting. Attentively holding his bow, Guha then had Lakshmana continuously speak with the charioteer and kept them awake for the sake of Rama. The son of Dasharatha had thus laid down on the ground to sleep. He was intelligent, famous, and great soul. He had never experienced distress and was used to comfort. The night then passed slowly for him. So, in this way, we can understand later on. So, there's further conversation, but so now the important conversation now Lord Bharata meeting Lord Rama. This is also very important points and instructions. So we should understand and learn how Lord Rama dealt, how he instructed everyone from all the way from Bharat Maharaj to Vasishtha to Jabali. Jabali is showing, even though he says he was speaking from a not from the Shastric point of essence of Shastra, he was speaking from a more of a so-called morality of this world. Arjuna is speaking in the beginning or many, Sokracharya speaks to Vali, so like that. Here also, Javali speaks like that. So, Lord Rama rejected everything and he gave sound arguments to every one of them. When the army had encamped, Bharata eagerly went to see his brother Rama while following Shatrughna, various signs that indicated that they were near Rama's ashram. Sumantra closely followed Shatrughna because, like Bharata and Shatrughna, he was also thirsty to meet Rama. Then, while walking, the handsome Bharata saw his brother's leaf-hut and thatched cottage amidst the residence of ascetics. Bharata then saw in front of that residence broken pieces of wood and plucked flowers. He saw kusha grass and strips of bark tied on trees here and there as signs to indicate the way for Rama and Lakshmana to go to their ashram. He saw large heaps of dried cakes of the dung of the deer and buffaloes in that forest for use in the cold season. While walking, the mighty armed and effulgent Bharata rejoiced and spoke the following to Shatrughna and all the ministers as follows. I think that we have arrived at the spot of Bharadwaj Muni had spoken about. I think that the river Mandakini is not far from our place. Bark garments have been tried on high land. This must be the path for it. It has marks and identification placed by Lakshmana wishing to go at inappropriate times. And this must be the path where the swift, large, tusked elephant traverse with the mountains roaring at each other. You can see here the very thick smoke from the fire that ascetics in the forest always wish to maintain. Lakshmana says, you stop that smoke and take Sita inside. Bharata has come to harm, to kill us. That was Lakshmana what he says to Rama. But Lord Rama has a different opinion about Bharata. With delight I shall see here the noble prince Raghava, who is like a great sage, performing exalted samskara rituals. Then Bharata, descendant of Raghu, walked towards Chitrakoot for a short while and reached Mandakini. He then spoke the following words to Shatrugna and others. Prince Rama, the Lord of Man, has reached a lonely place and is sitting on the ground in Virasan. Fie upon my birth and life. He is condemning himself. Because of him, Lord Rama had to go through. Rama of great effulgence, the Lord of the world, has attained a calamity because of me. Having given up all desirable objects, he is living in a forest. I have been condemned by the entire world. Today I will fall at the feet of Rama, Sita Devi, and Lakshmana to appease them. While lamenting this, Dasharatha's son Bharata saw a large, auspicious, and charming leaf cottage in that forest. It was covered with several leaves of Shala, Sritala, and Sarja trees. Beautiful. After looking for a moment, Bharata recognized his Guru Rama. See what he says. Bharata is thinking because that is the mood of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. That is the mood of Lord Balaram, Lord Lakshman. Whether they come as elder or younger, either way they are always thinking. Master is Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. My duty is to serve. Ekala Isra Ara Sabha Bhutya. None of the gurus, Bonafide Acharya, they don't accept. For disciple purpose, they accept as guru, but they're always thinking they are disciples only. They are not thinking guru all the way up to Radharani and Nityananda Prabhu. They're only accepting Lord Krishna as their guru. Vande Krishna Jagat Guru. So, after looking for a moment, Bharata recognized his Guru Rama, who was seated in the thatched hut, wearing matted locks of hair. He saw Rama sitting with Sita Devi and Lakshmana on the ground, strewn with darba grass. Rama had put on a deer skin as his upper cloth and was dressed in a lower cloth made of bark. He resembled fire that blazed all around. He had the shoulders of a lion. His arms are mighty. His eyes resembled lotuses. He was the lord of land and ocean. He followed Dharma meticulously. And that is not an inch he wants to move. Nothing. He will not forsake Dharma for anything. He will give up his life. So that's what he's showing. That is because he has come as Maryada Purushottam. He looked like an eternal mighty armed Brahma in a sitting posture. So, and you will see that all the pictures of Valmiki Ramayan, it is following the proper things. The pictures is drawn. This is what Srila Prabhupada wants. In his books, he doesn't want anything to be changed. See, Lord Rama's color is green everywhere. All the books, wherever you see Lord Ramachandra, everywhere it's green only. So because that is what description is there in Valmiki Ramayana itself, how Lord Ramachandra is green. So accordingly only, if you concoct something and do something else, then it's not good. So we have to follow exactly what Shastra says. Upon seeing him, the handsome Bharata became overwhelmed with grief and distress and ran towards him. As soon as Kaikeyi's son Bharata, whose mind was devoted to Dharma, saw Lord Ramachandra, he lamented in distress. His voice was accompanied by a discoloration of his face because of burning in sorrow. Unable to control his distress with fortitude, he spoke the following words. My elder brother, who is fit to sit amidst the royal assembly with ministers, is now seated here amidst forest beasts. That great soul, who previously was used to decorating himself with dresses worth thousands of gold coins, is now covering himself with true deer skin and practicing dharma. He couldn't tolerate seeing that. How can this descendant of Raghu, who wore flowers of various colors, bear the weight of his matted hair? It is appropriate. Chaitanya, same thing was going on with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as soon as he told he is going to accept sannyas. No one could take it. Mother Sachi, Advaita Acharya, none of the devotees associate could take. Such a beautiful personality, beautiful hair. He has to shave his head and he has to accept this. No one could accept. They were crying like whole night. They were crying. So they are almost like living dead. That was the condition. Similar here, what Bharata is going through. It is appropriate to perform fire sacrifice according to scriptural prescriptions to accumulate piety for his sake, and he is now pursuing the dharma born of bodily austerities. She didn't wanted him to go through this, but Lord Rama is hell bent on following dharma. How is it that the body of noble Rama is now covered with dirt? His body used to be smeared with very valuable sandal paste. So everywhere you see the same description, sandalwood paste. So that is very important. Deity worship, not a single day should go by without applying proper sandalwood paste to the Lord and also to Srila Prabhupada. This is the process. Mm. Rama, who was accustomed to comfort, is attained this sad state because of me. I am cruel and my life is condemned all over the world. Fie upon it. That means when a guru is there personally, we must sacrifice to serve him, no matter what. Everything. He's not going to ask, bring me this, bring me that, serve me here, this, that. He's not going to ask anything. He will be going on with his mission. But it is our duty because it's a golden opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity to serve Guru. It doesn't come every time. So if we lose it, then we lost. It's a big loss for us. So that's what we have to consider. Bharata was miserable and his lotus feet perspired. While crying and lamenting in this manner, he fell down on the ground before reaching Rama's lotus feet. The mighty Prince Bharata burned in such distress that after uttering once in sorrow, O noble one, he became incapable of speaking anything anymore. This is how, actually, Ram Katha in some of these pastimes is very hard to read. It's too much. Upon seeing the illustrious Rama, Bharata's throat choked with tears at that time. He could only cry out, O noble one. He was unable to utter anything else. It's a great distress to see the Lord and Guru in that particular state. Shatrugna also offered his respectful obeisance unto Rama's feet while crying. Rama embraced both of them and shed tears because Lord also exchanges in the same degree. So the Lord is always affectionate, and Guru is always affectionate to his disciples, however fallen, however they are, their mentality, their consciousness is. So Lord is also reciprocates always. So then then the princes Rama and Lakshmana met Sumantra and Guha in the forest, just as the sun and the moon meet Venus and Jupiter in the sky. Upon seeing these princes, who resembled the leaders of the elephant, gathered together in the great forest, who were filled with happiness, all the residents of the forest then gave up their joy and shed tears. Now Rama instructs Bharata about the duties of the king. So we'll finish this chapter and then conclude. Very important instructions. We should pay attention. Lord Rama saw Bharata fallen on the ground. Bharata wore matted locks of hair and was dressed in bark cloth. He had joined his palms in supplication. It was painful to see him who resembled the sun at the time of dissolution. Rama's brother was emaciated with a pale face. Therefore, Rama recognized him with great difficulty. He then caught Bharata with his arm. Rama, the descendant of Raghu, smelt the head of Bharata, embraced him, placed him on his lap, and then with a composed mind asked him as follows. And this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done that as well, and Sri Prabhupada also done. Lord Narsimha has done to Prahlad Maharaj. So he was licking his head and patting him, massaging him. So Lord hasn't done to anybody like that. That means how much Lord is affectionate. Because Prahlad Maharaj, his whole life is like that. He was fully surrendered at the lotus feet of Narada Muni and Lord Narsimha Dev. He was fearless, ready to do anything and everything for both of them. So that's why Lord also accordingly reciprocates. 100% surrender means Lord gives Himself. He's always there for His devotee. He will run behind the pure devotee. That is Lord's mood always. He's not there in Vaikuntha. He's not there anywhere. He's there always with His pure devotees. So we can see that Lord Rama's reciprocation with Bharata. Dear Bharata, where is your father now that you have come in the forest? You should not have come to the forest while he is alive. Then who's going to protect? So he's supposed to rule. So he has given that away and came here. Why did you come? In that sense, he's talking. As I see Bharata, who has come from a long distance after a long time, his features are unrecognizable to me. Dear child, why did you come to this woodland in that forest? He couldn't see. Himself is accepting, but he doesn't want his brothers to accept this hardship. So this generally if we are eating simple things, we want everybody else also eat like that. But Lord Rama is not expecting like that. Like Sri Prabhupada also used to take simple, but when he was serving like anything. Same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did. For me, just keep lapra venjam, which is ordinary vegetable, cauliflower, we should make. When we hear this pastime, We should know that these are the things to be offered to the Lord. So we should think what we can offer means what Lord says, what pastimes we hear. Accordingly, we should offer at least when we are cooking for the temple. That's what we should try to do. That's what will please. What Prabhupada likes, what Lord Ramchandra, what Radharani likes, those are things we should ideally cook. And so the Sunday feast may be a different story, but at least in the deity kitchen, whenever we cook, that should be the ideal scenario. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did the same thing. Vapra means with the cauliflower and mixed vegetables. Very simple, basic. Now you give everybody all the nice, wonderful sweets and malpua and everything, paneer, whatnot. You serve everybody. So many times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted devotees to be served. Prabhupada also make sure everybody is served multiple times. So that is the mood the Lord and the Guru does. We can see here. Dear brother, is the king maintaining his life now that you have come here? I hope the despondent king now has not suddenly departed to another world. He's already anticipating that. Now he's going to reveal that. Gentle Bharata, I hope the stable kingdom has not been destroyed by you, who are young and inexperienced. Dear child, are you attending to our father who is truly valiant? Is King Dasharatha healthy? Is true to his promise? Is an organizer of Rajasuya and Ashwamedha sacrifices and a firm adherent of Dharma? Dear Bharata, is the learned and greatly effulgent knower of Brahman, who is ever fixed on Dharma and who is the teacher of Ikshvaku properly worshipped? He wants to make sure. Dear child, are the noble Kausalya Devi and Sumitra Devi, the mother of an excellent son, happy? And is Kaikeyi Devi happy after obtaining the kingdom? So see that. He's asking even about Kaikeyi also. That's also Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also showed. That even to the enemies, those who didn't like criticize, they're also thinking about them also. Because for them there is no enemy. So everybody is a servant of God. So for the practical purpose for preaching and wherever, so for to propagate, they may strongly criticize them when it needs to be checked, but they are always thinking of welfare of every living entity. So is your priest worshipped by you, is endowed with humility and is born on a good dynasty, as he has learned a lot, is free from envy and is an assistant supervisor under Vasishta's command. Is the priest engaged by you so to attentively take care of the sacred fires, constantly informing you at the right time of what has been offered and what is to be offered in oblation? You should know the scriptural rules and be intelligent and straightforward. Mm. Dear brother, are you respectful to Devas, our father and forefathers, mothers, gurus, those equal to our father, the elderly, the learned scholars, and the knowers of the Brahman? Is going is teaching how one should conduct. So Lord would not have asked all these things, but it is teaching how one should conduct as a king, as what is expected of a great responsibility whenever we have as a leader in some sort in the office at home. So we should know how to do things. Dear Bharata, do you honor Sudanva, the Acharya of Dhanurveda? Is endowed with excellent arrows that are charged with mantras that are not charged with mantras and is a master in Ardhashastra. Dear child, have you appointed ministers who are equal to you, heroic, learned with their senses under control, from authentic and noble families, skilled in understanding others' thought by observing their external gestures? O descendant of Raghu, the well-guarded advice of such advisory ministers, expert in Arthashastra, is indeed the root cause of the victory for kings. I hope you have not been sleepy during the day. Do you wake up on time? Lord is asking Bharat. So Lord is asking all of us also. Are we waking up on time? That is what. So Prabhupada also was asking. He doesn't see one person Mangalarti. He used to ask, where did he go? What happened to him? He used to find out. So this is because the Lord and Guru is affectionate. He is concerned. He is concerned about each and every living entity. What's happening here? I hope you have not been sleepy during the day. Do you wake up on time? I hope you deliberate your financial capacity at the end of the night. I hope you do not decide on issues alone. I hope that you do not consult with many to decide on such issues. I hope the decisions you make do not spread out to the country. So everything, all these things, each and every integrity, Lord Rama is going through with Bharata. Just imagine how much he is thinking about the welfare of every living entity, so that kingdom nothing is wasted, nothing is everything is properly utilized in the kingdom. So even though he's going through so much distress and hardship in the forest, but he's thinking about the citizens of Ayodhya. So this is what Lord Ramachandra means. So dharma means, oh descendant of Raghu, I hope you do not delay in quickly implementing a plan that you finalize, which involves little effort while producing great results. I hope that neighboring kings get to know all of your plans of action only when they have been fully implemented or when they are just about to be fully implemented. That they don't know your plans of action before they are implemented. This is the ideal leader quality. Prabhupada want to make sure everything there's a proper action, proper plan. You tell them before you go into guest place. Prabhupada is trust with them. You haven't told them anything, what to cook, what to be, what devotees take. Then you can expect now everything you take. It doesn't matter. On any college there you take, you have to take. So Prabhupada also took it because you haven't informed them. So it is a Prabhupada expected the great responsibility. How temple should run, everything you should properly plan and discuss, and then tell everybody else ahead of the time. Not that in the last minute you tell about what time things are going to happen. All these things has to be done meticulously. So high expectation. Prabhupada expected the leaders to conduct themselves. Dear Bharata, I hope the advice, the unspoken gestures, and so on made by you or your ministers cannot be understood by others through conjecture or inference. Do you desire to give up thousands of fools for the sake of one thinker? One thinker can greatly benefit during a financial crisis. Even if a king takes shelter of thousands or tens of thousands of fools, they cannot give him assistance through advice. Even one perceptive minister whose intelligence is stable, who is capable of deliberation, who is learned in Arthashastra can bring about great prosperity to a king, one who claims to be a king. Hmm. So, are you engaging first class minister in first class tasks? Goes on. So, Lord is telling. Now, Bharata is going to ask. So, let us see. I want to come to the important direct conversation. Yeah, here we go. Sorry. Knowing his brother Bharata to be devoted to his guru Rama and his brother Lakshmana began to question him. Why have you come to this place with matted hair, a cloth of bark, and deerskin? I want to listen to your explanation. Why did you give up the kingdom and enter this region wearing a black deerskin with a matted hair? Tell me everything. When the great souled descendant of Kakusta grasped him forcibly and again said this, Kaikeyi's son joined his palms in supplication and spoke the following words. Our father has banished you, noble Rama, and performed an extremely difficult deed. Tormented by distress on account of his son, the mighty armed king departed to Swarga. Immediately, he understood. Before that, he did the Shraddha, funeral rites, because Lord Rama and Lakshmana didn't know that Dasarath Maharaj passed away. Oh, scorcher of enemies, requested by a woman, my mother Kaikeyi committed this very great sin that removed his reputation. Without finally attaining the kingdom, this lady who impelled him to commit this sin has become a widow and is emaciated with grief. My mother will fall into greatly terrible hell. My, be merciful to me, your servant who has attained infamy because of my relationship with Kaikeyi. Like Indra, coronate yourself as king today for the sake of the kingdom. Be merciful unto the subjects and all of your widowed mothers here who have approached you. They also came with Bharata, including Vasishtha, all of them came. Respectful Rama, I accept the kingdom that is appropriate by sequence and appropriate for you. Please fulfill the desires of your well wishers in accordance with Dharma. With you resembling the spotless moon as her husband, the entire earth resembling the autumn night should no longer be a widow. The Bhumi Devi expected Lord Rama to rule. Then suddenly something else happened. With these secretaries, I bow down my head and beg you, please be merciful upon your brother, disciple, and servant. See how he's submitting. Bharat Maharaj is submitting as a disciple, as a servant, as humbly is submitting. Oh, Prince, don't override this entire honorable circle of ministers and other subjects who always assisted our father. Having said this, mighty Aunt Bharata, the son of Kaikeyi, with tears in his eyes, again touched his head to Rama's feet. So, the great humility. So, This is the proper etiquette, proper mood. Rama embraced his brother Bharata, who was sighing repeatedly like an exiled elephant, and spoke the following words. How can a person like you, born in a great family, endowed with goodness and prowess, who has executed vows to commit a sinful activity for the sake of a kingdom, who destroyed us enemies? I do not even I do not see even the slightest defect in you, and you should not immaturely blaspheme our mother. He didn't like when Kaikeyi was blasphemed like that. He didn't like it. Mm. Oh, greatly intelligent and sinless one, constant freedom of behavior has been ordained by the scriptures for authorities in relation to their wives, sons, disciples, and servants, so on. Gentle Bharata, consequently, you should understand that just as wives, sons, and disciples are counted as subordinates in the world by the saintly, so are we in relation to King Dasra. Gentle one, the Maharaj can order me to wear an upper cloth of the bark from a tree and lower garment of black deer skin in the forest in the kingdom. Oh, best among those uphold Dharma. One should maintain respect for one's mother to the extent one maintains respect for his father who knows Dharma. This is honored in the world. So he didn't like Bharat using any wrong words for his mother Kaikeyi either. O descendant of Raghu, I have been ordered by these two, my mother and father, whose conduct is in line with Dharma. With words, go to the forest. How can I conduct myself differently? You should get the kingdom that is honored by the people in Ayodhya. I should reside in Dandakaranya wearing a cloth made from bark. The greatly powerful Maharaj Dasratha has made this division of responsibilities between us, ordered me in public, and departed to the heavens. That king of Dharmic mind is the guru of all people and your authority. You should properly enjoy the share given by our father. Gentle Bharata, by residing in Dandakaranya for 14 years, I will enjoy the share given by our father, a great soul. He's thinking that as enjoyment. So that's not the world is not thinking, but Lord Rama is accepted like just like he's not having any little feeling. I think that what our father was a great soul equal to the kind a lot of devas who was honored in the world of man has told me is most beneficial to me, not rulership all over the world. Most beneficial. How much he's thinking. It's very important. Rama consoles Bharata with spiritual instructions. This chapter is important with this. We'll conclude. Sorry for going over time. But important instructions for our life, whole life. While the princes were still grieving, surrounded by their well wishers, the night passed in distress with great authority, with great tone. At the same time, affection is there, but she doesn't want to move an inch for not following Dharma. He wants to set things right for the whole humanity. When night turned into auspicious dawn, the brothers, surrounded by the well-wisher, performed Homa near Mandakini, performed their japa, and then approached Rama, performed their japa also. So, these are very important principles have been taught in Ramayan throughout. Um, Maharaja was subduer of enemies, led all the leading classes of citizens look upon you, scorching like the sun, established in the kingdom as their king. O descendant of Kakusta, let the excited elephants roar while following you. Let the very composed ladies in the inner quarter rejoice. Upon hearing Bharata's word continuously beseeching Rama, the many people from the city throughout thought that his words were proper. Upon noting that illustrious Bharata was distressed and lamenting, Rama was patient, whose intelligence was well disciplined, whose mind was controlled, consoled him with the following words. Now, beginning. Man cannot accomplish whatever he wants. He is not God. The independent Supreme Lord drags him around here and there. Everything stored up ends in destruction. Everyone elevated ends up falling down. Relatives end up being separated. Even an excellent life ends in death. Ripened fruit do not fear anything other than the fall down. Similarly, a man who is born does not fear anything other than death. Just as a house with firm pillars becomes dilapidated and perishes, men come under the control of old age and death and perish. The night then has gone by, does not return. Yamuna, filled with water, goes straight to the water ocean. In this world, days and nights go by while taking away the of lifespans, all the creatures like the sun rays quickly taking away the winter in summer. Lament about yourself. Why do you lament about someone else? Your lifespan is taken away both while you are in one place and while moving about. Death walks with us. Death sits with us. Even after traveling a very long distance, death returns with us, travels and returns with us. Wrinkles appear on the body, the hair on the head turns white. A man decays because of old age. Is coming to the point. how one should be fixed on dharma, following Guru and Krishna is fixed on that point. Is giving the lessons. Indeed, what can be done to what can be then do to become a lord, to enjoy basically. Men are delighted when the sun arises and are delighted when the sun sets. They do not perceive the destruction of their lifespans. Just like Sudhir Goswami instructed Parikshit Maharaj. They are delighted when they see onset of season, thinking that something newer and newer has come about. When a piece of wood comes in touch with another piece of wood in the great ocean, they are together and separate after some time. Similarly, wives, sons, relatives, riches come together, go away. Separation is certain for them. No creature in this world can be with his friends to the extent he wants. Therefore, a man who laments about death has no capacity to prevent it. Uh, is talking about the high philosophy. While one's age rushes on like an unstoppable stream of water, one's soul should be engaged in that which will bring about happiness, for the subjects are said to be attached to the happiness. Real thing, ultimate goal. Our father, King Dasharatha, was a dharmic soul. He performed all of the auspicious pious sacraments, gave away gifts in abundance, having become cleansed of sins, he has attained the heavens. Because he maintained his servants, protected his subjects properly, and accumulated artha through dharma. Our father has gone to heavens. Mm, Having performed auspicious activities desired by the people and fire sacrifices furnished with abundant gifts, our father King Dasharatha had gone to the heavens. Means it will go up through Swarga and go to the higher planet and enter into the spiritual world. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that he went to the heaven, means he stopped in heaven. Having performed several kinds of fire sacrifices, having attained a relatively longer span of life, having attained excellent enjoyment, the king reached the heavens. Uh, no lone person with superior intelligence and such wisdom as well as a person like you and me should lament for him. One who is sober and intelligent under all circumstances should give up such sorrow of many kinds, lamentation and crying. And I will carry out the order of our noble father in this forest, to which I have been sent by that performer of auspicious activities. Therefore, be steady, do not grieve. Go, reside in and rule over the city, our supreme among eloquent ones. That is what our self controlled father engaged you to do. O subduer of the enemies, it is not proper for me to reject his order. So you should also always honor his order. After all, he was our relative, he was our father. O descendant of Raghu, by the activity of residing in the forest, I will certainly carry out the instruction of our father. That is approved by those who engage in dharma. O prince, man who follows dharma, avoids cruelty, obeys his superiors, and desires to attain the higher world should be like this. O prince, having understood the auspicious activities of our father King Dasharatha, control yourself in accordance with your nature. Mm. So, in this way, you can understand. So, this goes on, but so many instruction chapters are there. So, but important points has to be taken and applied. How much we should be very strong in our devotion to follow the dharma, truthfulness. Especially one should be very careful to be truthful to Guru and Krishna. Minute we become not truthful to Guru and Krishna, finished. Whatever devotion, whatever will slowly fall down from our. So that should be very careful. Truth and dharma is so important, especially when it comes to Guru and Krishna. Absolutely. We cannot lie. Even it's going to be difficult, we cannot lie at all. We should follow the words. Otherwise, it's not going to be good to practice devotion service. We can't actually please the Lord. So that means that is Duryodhana's consciousness. So outside say something, inside he has something else. Means you hide something in front of Guru and Krishna, it's not good either. So these things are has to be considered, just like Lord Rama is instructing. Everything is very clear. So it's directly straightforward. So it's put, even though it's hard to speak, but he doesn't want it to be watered down. So it's very clear in his message. Thank you very much. Randra Srimad Ramayan ki jai, Sri Sitaram Lakshman ki jai. Prabhupada ki